let's talk about Gemini. That's a crypto exchange famously run by two famous twins, Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss. They are early Bitcoin backers, Bitcoin billionaires, in fact. And to prop up their crypto platform, they have reportedly lent $100 million, according to an ice scoop out of Bloomberg this morning. Now, this comes after they tried to get outside investment, according to sources, and failed to do so. So, as such, the Winklevi extended a $100 million loan to the company to make sure that they could get afloat. Allegedly, this money is going to go toward funding operations. This isn't related directly to some of the spats that Gemini has had with Genesis, the crypto lender owned by DCG, which, disclosure, is the parent company of CoinDesk. This indeed will go toward keeping the exchange going in this period of crypto downturn and contagion. What do we think here? Is this a good thing, a bad thing? What does this say about Gemini and its prospects? We got two twins here stepping up and writing a big check to keep their company going. Wendy, what do you think?
I wasn't expecting this story today, but I'm glad that they're taking responsibility and helping their company. However, it does make me a little bit weary, and I just want to remind everyone, please do not store any assets on a crypto exchange any way, shape, or form. I don't care who is running the exchange. I don't care if they say they're solvent or not. But this does make me a little bit nervous. Again, I'm not saying that Gemini is insolvent, but it does make me a little bit worrisome about the whole situation, because that's a big check, especially in a bear market. Like, I would want to know more, like, what is that money going towards, like, and why do they feel that they needed to inject $100 million into their company from their own personal money?
You know, I got a bigger question, and that's like, do the Winklevi twins share like a pot of money to stick together? Is that what I'm reading in this headline? Because that's what it looks like. Like, they have the same bank account. I don't know. Kind of a weird situation there. Maybe
They're
that's
twins,
how they
man.
operate. They're twins. They share clothing. They share stages. They share a company. They share a bank account. So, like, who knows? But let's go to the main point here, and that is that Gemini does have some solvency issues. That's the whole reason that we're in this problem, and they have solvency issues because of Genesis. And Genesis lost all their money from Three Arrows Capital, which Three Arrows Capital went bust because they longed Bitcoin into the moon, and then they missed the moon, and they're sailing among the stars out in Dubai and Bali and having fun there. But all these people who were locked in their Gemini account and were not able to get their funds because of it, they're the ones really eating the losses from what 3AC did in this account. So I think that's why that $100 million is there. They want to keep Gemini floating. It is an exchange. It does have bills payable that it has to meet. There are people on payroll that still need to be paid. And right now, as much as Bitcoin is going up, we're past 30K today. That doesn't mean that yesterday's horror stories are anywhere buried. Some of these body parts are still sticking out of the grave, and we still have to figure out a way to clean them up and put them to rest finally. And I think that's what Gemini is really trying to do here. Hopefully they're able to do it. Just a note that Genesis Trading is going through the Chapter 11 process, and it was supposed to be closed this coming month in May. That's what the restructuring deals said as of November and December. So we'll see what that looks like. I'm assuming that there's going to be some more Gemini Genesis news coming out of that. Hopefully it's all good stuff for all our retail friends out there trapped on Gemini. Zach, over to you.
Yeah, there's a big chunk of change locked up in that earn program, right? Something like, was it 900 million? That was the source of this big, loud public beef between Cameron, Tyler, and Barry, right? This erupted in the wake of the FTX implosion and was pretty ugly, right? So I guess the things, that things are moving somewhat steadily and seemingly in an orderly fashion, I guess, is good for a lot of people who are caught up in this mess. But yeah, it is certainly interesting to see this news come out of Bloomberg, according to these sources, that this is something that, the founders of this platform are undertaking here at this point in time, right? And maybe the rising tide of that big orange coin will help this look like a good deal in the end for the Winklevoss brothers. But then again, maybe it's not going to be enough to stop the bleeding. And I think that's what people are speculating when they see scoops like this out in the business press today. So yeah, it's interesting to see what Gemini is going to do and how they're going to come back from this one. They've been very public, I think, in laying out their game plan, both in their disputes with Genesis and others. And so it's going to be interesting to see what they ultimately say. They declined to comment to CoinDesk. It appears as though they declined to comment to Bloomberg as well. So it should be interesting to see if we get any additional clarity from the team directly outside of these sources.
A quick thing. Aren't we supposed to be more transparent with the crypto exchanges now? Like, aren't we supposed to show proof of reserves and do all of these things? Like, I would like to know like an exact breakdown of where that money is going. And I get that traditional finance, like banks, hedge funds, all those people, they don't do it. But I feel like crypto, we have an opportunity to create this better ecosystem. And if I was them, I probably would have said exactly what the money's going to. But I'm just a poor pleb, so.
Well, they didn't say anything, right? I mean, this is all sauces. This is people talking who aren't really authorized to talk. So
sauces.
this is reporters doing their thing. So it should be interesting to see if any additional information comes out. It does appear as though the Bloomberg piece was updated to include an additional nugget about the 100 million going toward operations rather than toward this settlement that they had reached with Genesis. So an interesting little back and forth on the reporting side of things.